Well, hello, welcome or welcome back, whichever it is. I am happy you are here. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. So everybody else, I'm happy that you're back. So what are we doing today? We're still doing a lot of casserole dishes as I still can't stand. So I have to prop myself up with the chair. So I was going through Google, looking at different casseroles and typing in ingredients that I have. Maybe I could find something that I'd like to eat. And I stumbled across one that I've not had before. Maybe you have, but I've never heard of it. It's been around a really long time. It's called Johnny Marzetti casserole. And it sounds like something my family would enjoy, so I'm gonna try it out and we'll see if it's a good one. If it's good, you win. And if it's bad, you still win because you haven't lost anything. But it might be a preference. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go, let's heat up those pots. Come on. All right, here we go. This is everything you're going to need. This recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of ground meat. I think you can make it with 1 pound, but that's okay. I'm gonna do it the way the recipe calls for, but I'm also making a non-dairy version of this for Eric because he's highly allergic. So I'm gonna make both pounds of the ground turkey. You're going to need some mushrooms. You can use fresh or canned. When I was at the store, the fresh was cheaper. Elbow macaroni, Parmesan cheese, olive oil. This recipe depends on which one you follow. Calls for like cheddar. I don't have that. I have a little bit of Colby Jack in the house, so that's what I'm using. You're going to need some red pepper flakes, some garlic, oregano, salt and pepper, an onion, and a pepper. Calls for a green pepper, but somebody used mine. So I'm using this one. I may have to use one out of my freezer because as you can see, it's in a Ziploc baggie, and that's because I used a portion of it already. So that, I might have to use a little bit of another one. And for Eric, the only difference for Eric for this is that he can't have the Parmesan cheese. He doesn't have any of his dairy-free. I have not been able to get it anywhere. I know where to get it, but they've been out of it. So the only thing I'm gonna do differently for his is we're gonna add the Daya Mexican blend. We've never had the Mexican blend one yet, but Daya cheese melts really, really well like regular cheese does. The other ones, like the Walmart brand, I think it's good something, I forget what it is. That doesn't melt as well, but Daya does. So first thing I'm gonna do is I got a pot started boiling for the elbow macaroni. I'm gonna I'm gonna cut up the pepper, clean off the mushrooms, and then we're gonna get to cooking the meat. So again, this is a however you want kind of deal. Let me cut that little piece off right there. I hate that like fleshy kind. But I'm just gonna hunk it up, just like that. No real, nothing. Just like that. So they're coming out. Little chunks. That's it. So I'm just gonna keep it going. I'm gonna do all of this and all of that the same way. And I might come out with another piece of pepper. When you come back, I might have another piece sitting out here. So here we go. I might even do them a little bit smaller than that. We're all chopped up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a rag now and I'm just gonna damp it and I'm gonna wipe off these. I try not to buy the already sliced ones because I wanna wipe them off and they're harder to wipe off than when you buy them whole. But these were on a clearance thing, so that's what I got. So I'm gonna make it work. So I'm gonna wipe those off and then we're gonna move over. So I started washing off those mushrooms and they were slimy and they had a funny smell to them. So I don't trust it. I don't want to eat it. So I went rummaging around and I found a couple of cans of mushrooms. So that's what I'm going to go with because I'm just too afraid to eat that. It just kind of like grossed me out a little bit. So over to the frying pan. Okay, so here we go. I got a little bit of olive oil in the pan And we're gonna start cooking the peppers, and then I'm gonna add the onions in just a minute. That's a little bit high, let me turn that down. You'll see a little bit of the yellow pepper in here. That's about a quarter of a pepper that I had frozen to make up for the piece that was missing. So I'm just gonna give these about a minute. They won't take too long because the yellow was frozen, and so they're kind of softened a little bit already. Just give that a minute and I'll add the onions. Okay, and in go the onions. And we're just going to give that a minute, and then we're going to add the garlic, and we're moving right along. Water is boiling, or coming to a boil. I'm about to add the pasta. To this, you're going to add, it says 5 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to put a ton of it in there. That's a regular teaspoon from my drawer, not a measured teaspoon. And I'm going to give a couple of those in there. Going to give that a nice mix. And then we're going to add the mushrooms. The mushrooms should have been cooked in this pan if you're cooking them fresh with a little bit of butter and set aside. I'm just going to keep this in here until it starts to be fragrant. Okay, I'm going to add the meat. Now you can add ground beef if you want. I've been cooking with ground turkey quite a bit because I'm on a budget. And at this point I can't afford this much ground beef. And we don't mind it. All right. It's all out. So let's get that all cooked up. Now you don't want to pulverize the meat, but you do want it ground up. I always end up cooking it too fine, but here we go. Turn this back up a little bit. So let's keep it going until the meat is not pink anymore. Okay, so we're getting there. This liquid that's in here will cook off because this is the ground turkey. If you were cooking with beef, I would suggest that you drain it, but this is going to cook down. So I'm just going to let it steam off, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I'm going to add in my mushrooms. Last one didn't want to come out. I also forgot when I did all of the stuff that came out for dinner, I forgot you needed a can of either some kind of a tomato sauce, not sauce, like diced tomatoes or something, but you need a big can. The one I found most interesting said whole tomatoes and then crush them yourself, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, let me open that can up and check on my pasta and see what that's doing while this finishes up a little bit. Okay, from what I watched, I probably should have went with the petite diced tomato, but I didn't. So, I'm gonna add the juice in first. And then what it says to do is to wear an apron. I'm not. And it says to squeeze them with your hands. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just went over and re-washed my hands. And I'm just, whoop, that's why they wanted it in there. So let's just break it open real quick. Whoop, yep, that's the reason for it. I'm gonna do this different way. I'm gonna dice these up on the cutting board after I break them open in here because, I don't know, I don't wanna squeeze them all with my hands. I'm gonna dice it up on the cutting board. So for me, if I were to make this again already, I probably would just go with the petite dice, the big can, and that. So this is how I'm cutting it up real quick, just into pieces and putting it in there rather than busting it up with my hands. Because that just squirted all over me. So let me bust this all up and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I did was Did kind of use my hands a little bit. Cutting them on the counter wasn't working out for me either. I would suggest using Petite diced with the juice in it. All right. Okay, so another something that I forgot to stick out was it calls for tomato paste. You can use ketchup if you don't have it. I happen to have it frozen. Well, it's not frozen anymore because I stuck it on my counter. I let it sit and kind of thawed out a little bit. A couple of tablespoons. So I'll scoop some out of this bag. I always have tomato paste on hand. Hoping this is going to be enough sauce. It doesn't look like enough, but I'm going to trust the process. Okay, there you go. Let me put this back in the freezer before it thaws out any further. Okay, so we're going to mix this in, and we're going to start adding some seasonings now. Oh, missed one. Okay, calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon of oregano. I'm just going to add it. I'm not going to measure because I don't always use the same amount. I happen to like a lot of oregano and basil. So I add a little bit more to mine. And then the red pepper flake, because I'm a big old sissy, I don't add what it says, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon. That's not really very much. Look how much I have in my hand. Okay, let's give it a nice little pinch or two. I'm getting a little bit braver, guys. It's not as hot as I remember it being. Got to give this a little bit of time to marry together and see if the juices break down and whatnot. So I'm just going to give it a quick stir and let it simmer for a few minutes. And get your oven preheating. It says 350, but I usually turn mine up to 375 when it says 350 for my oven. All right, so there you go. So it's cooking down, it's breaking down. It's doing something. This is not part of the recipe that I am following, but I feel like it needs some Italian seasoning, so I'm going to add a little bit. Probably ruining it, and I'm going to add a little bit of marjoram. It's probably like 1/4 of a teaspoon, just a little something. Marjoram. We're going to give that 5 more minutes to come together, and then we're going to mix it. I got to take some out for Eric because this is where we're going to start adding the Parmesan cheese and the other cheese, and Eric can't have that. Going to add some pepper. I just tasted it. It needs something. I don't want to add salt until after I add the cheese. Because the cheese is salty. So, turn that down a little bit. 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese, which coincidentally is 1/2 cup. Give that a nice mix. And then 1/2 of your cheese topping. Get that? I'm going to add a handful, just a little palmful. That's not even... That's maybe 1/4 of a cup. It's very little. And now a big handful. And it goes. All right, so we're going to mix that around. Let it get to a melting point, and then we're at the point where we start adding the pasta and all the rest of that. Let me just give this a second to melt down. Ooh, looks yummy. And then I'm going to give a little bit of a taste to make sure it doesn't need salt or anything. So I gave it a little bit of a taste. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. And we're going to turn that off. And let me move on over to something I can mix in. Smells good, doesn't it, Jessie? All right, here we go. I've never had it, so I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. If it's supposed to taste like spaghetti sauce, because it doesn't. Tastes pretty good, but let's go. Let's move on over. All right. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm gonna mix it in the sauce pot because I tried to do Eric's up there and I had a bit of a difficult time doing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick it in there. and we're gonna add this to it. It's in there, and we're just gonna give it a big old mixy poo. Yeah, it may have been less stuff to dirty by putting it in the other pot or the pan and mixing it, but it wouldn't be easy for me to mix. So I still have a little bit of the meat mixture in the frying pan because I wanted to get most of this mixed through. All right. Now we're gonna get the frying pan out, not the frying pan, the casserole dish. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add this to the 9x13. Ugh, that's heavy. There's a lot of meat in there. It didn't look like a lot. I feel like it needs more sauce, but I'm gonna trust the process. Because maybe it's not supposed to be saucy. I don't know. Okay. Got all that cheese in there and the rest. I wanted some for the top a little bit to add a little extra layer of meat on top. It thickened up when I added all that cheese to it, I can tell you that. And I did the same thing with Eric's. There's Eric's with a Daiya cheese in it. I'm not gonna go heavy with the cheese on top because it's got a lot of cheese in it. Pinch more and that's it. Right there. Some bald spots. Okay, so she's gonna go in the oven till she's hot and bubbly. All right, here we go. It's coming out, it's heavy. Whew. Let me zoom you out a minute, hold on a second. Look at that. Ain't that looking yummy? Let me get Eric's out. And there is Eric's. That is looking yummy. My daughter's over here giving me the thumbs up.
Can't wait to eat it.
What?
I can't wait to eat it.
Me either. But I say that every time. I can't wait. But I can. All right.
No, but I can't.
All right. Let me take a couple of pictures, plate it up, and I'll meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table. Again, like Jessica said when we were over there, I can't wait. Eric has been smelling it upstairs. Yeah. It smells good. I put a little bit, I'm helping my daughter with a lunch thing tomorrow, so I was making something with sauce in it, so I have a little bit extras from hers, not from what I did today. So just in case, I don't know. So Eric right away said, is that a mushroom?
I love mushrooms.
You love mushrooms?
Yeah.
I did not know that. All right, so I got a little bit of meat, a little bit of the shroom, some tomato, and some cheese. Okay, never had it, nor had, oops, I lost it, I'm sorry. Nor has he. Ready? As soon as I turn this over, it's going to be a piece that's falling down. I know. Okay. Ready? Mm-hmm. Let's go. It's good.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's good, but it kind of reminds... Oh, I just spit it out of my mouth. Kind of reminds me of just regular baked spaghetti. I don't know what makes this... I don't know what makes this different.
That's really good, though.
It is good. I bet you it would have been better if it had like a green onion in it because it has a more prominent taste. But
That cheese is good though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you like that's the first. Oh, we used the Daya cheese. I just found the new Daya, the Mexican blend, and this is his first time having that. So you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy it more often then. But yeah, it basically tastes like the baked spaghettis and things like that. Maybe because I didn't use a green, I was gonna say tomato, a green pepper. It's good. It's good. So there you have. Let me take another taste just to see.
That's really good.
I really like it. I just don't know how it stands out from the rest. That's my opinion. All right, let's get everybody else fed and see what their opinion is. See you later. Bye. Dinner's over. How'd they do? Boom. Look at that. They did not finish, but they are going to finish it because as I came to do the wrap up, they decided they wanted to eat the last little bit and they could have at it. But before they do that, I want to find out what they thought about it. My daughter Jessica wants to go first today, so she's going first. Jessica, wait a minute. She's going first because she said, I'll be surprised as what she has to say. I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out. So what did you think about dinner?
Well, Miss Frugal Tina lost her mind because that is fudging amazing. Fudging amazing. I love it, and I'm going to eat more.
That's funny. That's funny. I guess she liked it.
Loved it.
A little bit, a lot of it, right? I don't know how you're going to top that, Aiden. Aiden, go ahead.
I really loved it. It was the best, and I can't wait to have it again.
Okay. Nick,
It was really good.
Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to ask the question. What did you think about dinner?
It was really good, and it was amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yaya's waiting on her third helping. What did you think about
I
dinner?
thought it was absolutely amazing, and yes, I'm gonna eat that third helping.
Blaze, you're up next. What'd you think?
I thought it was really amazing.
Last but not least, Tyler, what did you think about dinner?
I loved it very much.
All right. There you have it. I thought it was good. I think my reaction might have made them think that it wasn't going to be that great. It was really good. I just didn't know, other than the mushrooms, what made it stand out from other baked spaghettis, pasta, those kind of dishes. But it was absolutely delicious. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Don't forget, guys, it does help me out. Like and subscribe. See you later. Bye.